Well, this is attempt two to make a tutorial. Like I say, I'm running probably on about 3 hours sleep this whole week, so bear with me. The folder I have open here is just a graphics folder. You can see up here I've got one that's called Metallic Tutorial. Oh, this was open because I already tried. I got this far in my video and I was screwing up so bad. I said, heck with it. I'm going to reshoot. Anyway, first thing you want to do, I'll start with that again. You want to have either ATS Studio or ETS2 Studio. And if you don't have it, you want to download DXTBMP. You need those two things to make this metallic skin. Okay, what I did here is this folder here is Lady in Red. If anybody's been following me at all on the forum, you know that I uploaded this one called Lady in Red, which was the great big legacy version of Outlaw's Truck. And for purposes of saving time, instead of literally creating everything from scratch, I just basically copied everything that was in here. Okay, let me close that. Rename the folder Metallic Tutorial, and that's what you're looking at right now. Hold on here. Let me make sure I got that right. Okay, now here we go. And the reason I have all these folders is I don't like loose files. I mean, otherwise, if you don't have these folders, you've got DDS files, alpha files, graphic files, and all this stuff, and you have to sit there and scroll and search for the file you want. If they're all in their own little folder, it's just very easy, especially when you go into the programs like you'll see later on. It's just easier to have it in the folder. That's the alpha. I don't have to confuse it with anything else. That's the DDS, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, that's what all these folders are for. This one here, if you're wondering, this is one I created. It's not mandatory. After you've actually created the mod and you're ready to save it, I don't save it into my American Truck Simulator mod folder. And the reason I don't do that is because with the metallic mod, you have to edit the SII file to get it to work. Because if you don't edit the SII file, which I'll show that later on, you can bring it into American Truck Simulator in your mod manager and go into the game and click on the paint, and it's not going to do anything at all. So anyway, and I think this is kind of self-explanatory. Logos, you don't have to have that necessarily, but if you were going to use like one of these, say like on a trailer or on a truck, if you're, that's fine, you can do that. Then there's that one. You guys have seen that on the memorial truck. But anyway, the reason I've got some of these graphics is kind of like here. Well, you can't really see it. But anyway, that's that thing you see when you go in and select the paint job in the game. That's all that little graphic. I think they call it a workshop graphic. That's what that's for. But anyway, that's why I have the logos file. And like I say, this again is the one, like you go up online and you have a company name, logo, or whatever. That's what this graphics folder would be. And I even put those, like you'll see here. I got Roadrunner. Now, if I had New England Trucking or whatever, if I wanted to do that, I would create a folder that said New England Trucking, and I would load all the graphics in there. Anyway, I want to get this thing underway. I don't want to go into too much here. This here, I actually copied, not from this mod, but I don't remember the one I actually copied this from, but this is a important thing to have. And I'll show you later on with that. As you go into material, you go into custom, and there's your flake noise. And like I say, it wasn't this particular mod I copied it from. And I just pasted it here. So you can see there was a lot more in that other one here. So like I say, again, I don't know what this was from, but you have to have this because that's where your flake noise graphic is. And I'll show you real quick. This is the SII file now. It says Lady in Red. I just left it open because when you create your metallic skin, this is the name, whatever you name your skin, this is where it'll appear here. Okay, the metal flake thing, that's what I was getting after. Before you put this mod in your mod folder and then start up the game, this is the SII file that I was talking about that you have to edit. Now, where you see it highlighted here as false, that's what it has to say. If it says true up there, no, change this to false. And then the second thing that you have to do, you see this line up here, okay, that has to be left alone. But when you open the file for the first time, what it says there is going to be here. You'll see it says that. And if this isn't changed to this, and why is that there? Because that is the path to this over here. You see custom? Well, first let me back up here. Here's material. Move that over. Here's material. And there's the custom. And there's the flake. There's the file right there. That's why that has to read like that and not what it says up here at the top. Because if you don't change that, your file isn't going to work. And again, I apologize for being stumbling and so much. Let's see, 3 hours sleep isn't a whole lot, guys. Okay, so I think I explained that well now. And the template now, here is the Outlaw template. Now, when you guys download this, the Outlaw 379 template off the Outlaw Facebook page, you know, it comes in the zip format, so you have to extract that. When you extract that, then it has another folder that says Outlaw blah 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 3 blah 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 blah. Okay, you click on that folder, it'll say Outlaw Pack. You click on that folder and scroll all the way down. I think it's like the second from the bottom. Anyway, that's the template, and this template holds all of the cabs that you can modify or make skins off of. So anyway, I think I've already opened that in Photoshop. Oh, what's this? Okay, Coyote Run. Oh, sorry, this is the one I opened up to actually make the PNG, so I don't need that open anymore. Anyway, when you open it up in Photoshop, this is what you're going to see. And then if you look over here to the right now in Photoshop, for whatever reason, it doesn't name these layers in, what is it, paint.net? It will actually say Legacy Sleeper, blah, 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 or 63-inch high or stand-up sleeper, or, you know, it actually gives the names, but for some reason in Photoshop it doesn't. So anyway, this is what it looks like when you first open it up. Now what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to choose what cab you want to work with. Well, I don't want to do the what do you call it, any of the other ones, but I think I used a 63, this one here. Yeah, so this is the 63-inch sleeper. Let's see. Yeah, okay, because that's the stand-up. So yeah, this is the one I use all the time. Okay, so once you get this far and you've figured out which one you want to use, the next thing you're going to want to do is figure out what color you want the truck. So what you're going to have to do, as a matter of fact, I'm going to name this. Hold on a second. I want to name this so nobody gets confused here. This is the 63-inch, and I'm just going to call it Sleeper because I don't know if it's got what the original name, but I think that's what it is. Anyway, you're going to want to make a layer above that, and you want to name this base, because this is going to be what the base color is, or what the color of the truck actually is. Okay, so what I did is I already selected a color over here. It's almost kind of a really dark royal blue. You're going to fill that layer, okay? Now once you have that filled, what I do is bring down the opacity of that layer so I can still see my template. Okay, now is when we need to bring in the graphic that we're going to use, and oh, never mind. Well, actually, hold on. Yeah, I could steal it from over here, which I think I will. I'll just grab it, hold this. I hold my shift in Photoshop and it'll put it dead center on my image. Wow, that's pretty good. It put it almost where I wanted it. Okay, I'm gonna zoom up here. And okay, now if I remember right, there's a hatch or something that's on this side that you kind of have to work with. Well, you know, you could put it down there or you could put it up here, but if you, what kills me is there's a door on this other side. Well, the door is the full length, so there's not a whole lot I can do about it. So I think what I'll do is I'll put it up there for right now. Okay, and okay, it's selected. Okay, oh, CCR. Oh, cool. It even calls it CCR. Thank you. That's Coyote Roadrunner. And I'm going to call this passenger, but I just put pass for short. And I always like to label my layers because, like I say, if they're just like this layer 7, layer 6, that doesn't tell you anything. And my eyesight's not that good enough to see the graphics in it, so I can't tell usually by that. So I'm going to make a copy of this, and I'm going to name it driver. Okay, there we go. And okay, I'm going to grab a hold of it, and I'm going to drag it over here to the driver. And like I say, being it's a tutorial and I'm trying to make this as quick as possible, I'm not going to get too worried about being all that accurate. Okay, I'm going to move it up there. Okay. Okay, now that we got to this part, now what we need to do is we need to create yet another layer above the base. And I'm just going to, well, I'm not going to call it, well, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. No, I mean, we do have to create that layer, but hold on. We have to come over here. And in Lucasi's video, I memorized the color that it needs to be, and it's 1B1818, and it gets kind of a middle ground. It's not really a dark black, and it's not, you know, light gray. It's the, but I'll just put it this way, it's the perfect color for doing this. So you can do what you want to do, but I don't remember exactly why it's that way. Let's see, 1B1818. Okay, there you go. And I'm doing this too, so you can, when you pause the video, if you need to get the number of that color, that's what it is. Okay, anyway, this is what you have to do for this step. Okay, now in order, even though that this graphic, the Roadrunner, is a PNG, you still have to create what they call a layer, a mask for it, so that only the Roadrunner shows and not the base color of the truck. Otherwise, if you've been watching any of my other videos that I've put on the forum, you'll notice that it was the Outlaw truck, the yellow and red one, that the logo had this, like this red square around it. Well, that's the color of the truck, and we don't want the color of the truck showing through on this particular layer. So you have to create what's known as a layer mask. So I will click on here. Okay, and I'm going to make a new layer because this is the layer where the layer mask is going to be. Now, I don't know what the keyboard things are, shortcuts and stuff in paint.net or GIMP. Now in Photoshop, sometimes you have to know, like in earlier versions, different keyboard shortcuts that Photoshop CC, I guess, does it differently. But this is how I do it in Photoshop CC. Okay, I'm going to click on the layer for the logo. I'm holding down my control key, and I'm going to click, and you see I'm highlighting my graphic. Okay, now I'm going to click on what I want to be the layer mask, the layer above it, and I go down here and it says adjustment layer. I'm going up here to solid color. I click on that, and you want to make sure, see how it's down here? Don't do that. You want to make sure that it's white. Click OK. Now we're still not done. What we need to do for this to truly be a layer mask, you need to take your cursor and put it on the line that's between the adjustment layer and the graphic, the logo. I hold down my Alt and see how it changed. It's got to do that. When it changes to that arrow, you click and you see this tiny little arrow that's right here. Now you got a layer mask. Okay, now really, oh, I got to do it to this one down here. But really, this is all you need to do for this particular tutorial, because like I say, this is the only graphic I've got going. So I'm going to select it. Oops. Let me do that again. Hold on. Okay, select it. I'm going to go up here, go to solid color, make sure it is white, click OK. Okay, I'm going to put my cursor on that line, hold my Alt till that arrow changes. Okay, now this is what they refer to as the alpha channel. Okay, now I'm going to back these off for a minute and I'll tell you why. And let me back off this gray and let me bring the blue all the way back up. Because before you make your alpha channel, you have to have your actual DDS file. So we're going to make that first. Here you go, save as, and here's the folder DDS. And I'm going to change this to ROAD. Oh, actually, hold on. I can just do the CC Coyote, C Coyote Roadrunner, and I'll just call it skin. That'll make it easy. Okay, and you got to change this to DDS. Yeah, okay. And you'll click save, and this little thing pops open. Now, I don't know why on my computer it shows this little box up here so tiny, because I know it's a setting somewhere in the graphics, but anyway, what I've got selected is DXT5, and that's what you want up here. Now, if you're using Paint.net, it has a similar thing that pops up here, and I can't remember all the settings that is, but I know DXT5 has to be selected. And here in this one, it says 2D texture, cube map, and volume texture. I'll be honest, I don't understand any of that. So I just left it alone as 2D texture, and I selected generate MIPS map, and that's all. So I click save. Okay, just wait for it to do its thing. Okay, so I'll go up here and just to show you. Okay, see, there it is in the DDS folder. That's our DDS file. So, okay, now I'll go back up here and I will turn on our clipping mask, and I will put this little guy back up and make sure that she's 100%. Everything's cool there. And okay, that's looking good. So now we go up here to File, Save As, and choose, okay, there it is, BMP. Okay, and I'm going to click Alpha because that's the folder I want to go into. And I'm just going to call it this, basically the same thing. I'm going to call it CRR skin and put alpha. That way I can recognize it very quickly. Okay, save. And you don't have to change anything here. Just simply say okay. Okay, now we have our alpha channel and we're actually done here in Photoshop. Oh, wow, I got that thing there. Okay. Now, this is where you need to have, or with that program I was telling you about, that DXTBMP. Now, you open it up and you go to File, Open. Okay, this is looking in my Lady in Red one, so we don't want that. And I got to find metallic tutorial. There it is. Okay. Now we have to find the DDS, which, gee, I put it in a folder called DDS, so gee, there it is. And sometimes this takes a little bit to load, and other times not. And I'm not touching anything over here. So there we go. I just want to make sure that Sometimes it's, there it is. So I just wanted to make sure that I got, okay, it's cool. And you'll click on alpha because we need to import our alpha channel. And don't worry about this message, just say, yeah, cool. Okay, now that's not the alpha I need because I have to go back over here into metallic tutorial. And I have a folder called alpha. There it is. And open. And you'll see that it is working because the channel is shown in black and white. So now we have to take our DDS file and we have to merge it with the alpha file, and that's what will create the alpha file, or the metallic file, excuse me. We click on Save As a DDS Texture. And you're going to save it back to your DDS folder, but I'm going to make sure, okay, metallic tutorial, that it is going in the right folder. Okay, and for the file name, I'm going to put an underscore and put MET for metallic. And we'll do save. Okay, and we're done with that. And okay, at this point, okay, we need to go to whatever studio you're using. I'm using ATS. And okay, you want to go to Bass Truck, and we're doing the Outlaw Peterbilt, so there we go. You want to go to Truck Skin, browse, and you browse to the folder where you have your file. Anyway, here's desktop. I found metallic tutorial. I need the DDS, but I need the metallic, and that's the one right there. And you click open. And what you want is for that background, when you open it in here, it has to show like this. See how it's kind of white or on near white? If it doesn't show like that, if it shows any other color, there's something that you did wrong. So we did everything right so far. Now I'm going to go put my workshop icon that I've got in there. Logo, it should be in logos. Yes. Now you don't have to worry about this. If you don't have one that's made, you can just click on default and it'll put that little paint bucket in there. Okay, again, I'm going to make sure that my truck, the Peterbilt, is selected. Skin properties. Okay. Now, this is where you can give it pretty much, I guess, whatever name you want to give it, but I'm going to still name it what I've been naming it. The other file, the DDS, CRR, Coyote Roadrunner. Let's just see. Skin. And I don't remember. Oh, it was a kind of a purple color. I'll just leave it like this. And I'll put net after that. Okay. And I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste that. Yeah, because it's one of these that's how it sees it in the game. I don't remember how that works, but anyway, I don't want to get too much into that. You need to click airbrush, always. Never forget to do that. You need to click metallic. You need to unclick this. And this here is the level that it unlocks at, and the skin price. You can do whatever you want with that. I don't like to make people wait, and I can't understand why anybody wants to make you pay a ton of money for it. Anyway, that's all you have to do on this page. So make sure airbrush is selected, metallic color is selected, set skin as stock is unchecked, and do whatever you want to do here. And you don't have to do anything else at this point. Now we're going to move on, okay, to the metallic flake noise. Okay, we put that in here, material, custom, and there it is. Okay, so we got that taken care of. So now we need to come to the metallic options. Now the settings that I use in these are the same ones Lucasi uses when he makes them. So I'm going with Lucasi because he knows what he's doing. And these aren't written in stone settings. You can play around with these. I don't know enough about it to play around with them. I just know very little, the basics. Okay, these are all 1500, and that's all you have to do there. Now, flake color, he says that you can use anything you want, but he uses white, so that's what I'm going to use. Okay, on the flip strength, let's see, he uses, what is it? Well, this never pops up. I don't know why. I have a problem with this box, but I'm still going to type what he puts in. And as you'll see, that is what he types in, 0.93. But you watch, I come over here and watch what this thing does. See, it takes the 3 off. So I don't know why it does that. Okay, flake UV scale, he set that to 20. Flake density, he set to 1.6. Flake shininess, he did 30. And the flake clear coat, he did 5. And those are all the settings that you need to do in here. And we're pretty much ready to save the mod. And like I say, you can pause the video at any time to check out these settings, or you could do like I do and Harper did, and I take a screenshot with my phone. So one more time, I check to make sure that my base truck is selected, because if you don't have this selected, if you're wanting to skin the Outlaw and you got Freightliner or anything, most often your game's just going to crash when you try to get into it. Okay, I'm looking at my name. I make sure I'm going to copy this again just to make sure I do have it copied. So name it what you want. Click airbrush, click metallic color, do whatever you want to do here, and you're done. Make sure that you have the correct skin and that it looks like this. Go to your workshop. If you have a graphic like I did, I created one, great. If you don't, you can click default. Metallic options, here are the settings that, like I say, that he used. Metallic flake noise, okay, there you go. That's all you have to do. And then click on export mod. Now normally, like I say, you could, in most mods, if it wasn't metallic, you could just go ahead and just save it into your mod folder and you'd be done. But since it's a metallic, okay, desktop, metallic tutorial. See, I have the C, this is why I put the CRR mod, because I'm going to save it in here first and you'll see why. Okay, so if everything went right, I should be able to close this. Okay, so now I'm going to come up to the metallic tutorial. And I'm going to, where is it at? Okay, click on the mod. I'm going to right click, and hopefully you've got a either WinZip or WinRAR, anyway, 7-zip, some kind of a program that extracts files. But you're not going to extract these. You're simply going to come over here and say Open Archive. Now you'll see these 3 files in here. You're going to go into your def folder, vehicle, truck, Peterbilt, paint job, and there's the SII file. You right click on that and say Open. Okay, now I'm going to close this one because I don't need this open anymore. Okay, so let's take a look. Well, as you can see, my unlock here changed to 10 when I put 1, but I'm going to still try to put 1 in there. Okay, this has to be right, which it is. This has to say false, not true. Okay, well, it's true that it has to say false. Excuse me, that just sounded weird. Okay, this is, I'm going to open up my lady and, oh, what happened here? Well, I want both of them open. Hold on. Okay, I want that one open, yes. But I also want that one open. Okay, here we go. So here's the lady in red one, and here's the metallic one here. Okay, so you can see that the settings here match the settings here, and everything here, your UV scale density, shininess, and all that stuff. Yeah, okay, it held. But you want to, here's the thing that's important. Besides this saying false up here, what you have to change. You see this path here, that one can stay. But if you'll notice, you come down here and this says the same exact thing. No, because if you were just to take your mod into to ATS right now, it wouldn't work. And the reason it doesn't work for that is because your flake noise is located in a different directory for one thing. Let me copy that, because this is the path to that flake noise graphic. So you just come over here and you go paste. So these two things, that has to be false, and this has to be the correct path to the flake noise. So once you've done that, you just go over here and go File, Save, then Close, and okay, I'll close that out, and we should be good to go. Okay, so now I'm going to copy the mod. I'm going to close this, and I should have the mod. No, I don't have the mod folder open. Not a problem. Okay, let me go down here where my mod folder is. It's, oh, here it is, ATS, American Truck, and there's my mod folder. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to say paste. Okay, she's in there. Now all I should have to do is simply start the game. Hold on here. Okay, go up here to Games, American Truck, launch DirectX, play, and make sure I got the sound down, because this thing blasts with it. Okay, and hopefully it'll say, new mod, so it sees it. So I go over here, activate it, oops, and make sure that it's, oh yeah, I know. I'm gonna go ahead and get that out of there because I don't use that one anymore. Okay, confirm changes. Here, it's probably gonna tell me I got a missing skin here. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm gonna load anyway. Yeah, I know. Continue. Okay, so we go over here to truck dealers. Peterbilt. Well, I guess I have to select the Peterbilt dealer. Buy online. Select the Pete. And click on paint jobs. And hopefully, if everything worked right, I forgot what I named it already. Usually it's that's not it. Oh, here it is, right here. Boom. Okay, now everything is not perfect. Well, you know, the graphics, I don't care. This is just a tutorial, but you'll see that you can go up here, and I like red. Well, I like all colors, but and you can click here and see that everything is working as it should. And there's that beautiful metal flake color. And the beautiful thing about it, guys, is like I say, you can make the colors whatever you want. See, and because that GIF, because the graphic is a PNG with no background, that's why you do it, because you can select whatever other. I'm sorry, guys, I'm having a hard time. But you could any color you want. Now you see why I don't really like doing tutorials and stuff. I've got problems. But you can see, like, click on assess the visor, and as you see, you know, it paints everything like it should. I'm looking for the fenders on the back. No, that's the steps. Well, let's do the tank. See how it does on the tank, fuel tank. But let's get a better color, because it's the reds that really show it up, I think, nicely. So now you can get some interesting combinations here. Can zoom in. Yeah, look at that. Is that beautiful or what? Oh my gosh. Now, like I say, if it's showing really maybe too much metallic, you can come in here and kind of get the highlight down just a little bit, and it won't be quite so noticeable, but you still have it in there. But anyway, guys, that is all there is to it. And I hope I did it well enough, even with my stumbling and fumbling, to help you guys out. But it's that easy to do. So, yeah, I may actually go back and maybe redo this and maybe put him more on an angle or something so he fits in here better. But anyway, I got to figure out how to get out of here again. That's really all there is to it. And as soon as I can get out of here, I will. I can't see the XT. Oh, it's the only thing I do not like about having this little window of me on here. Good, I got rid of it finally. Okay, I'm going to quit. Alrighty, and I'll close that down. So now I just have to get to my program here. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and once it's rendered at full resolution, I'll add it to our Outlaw forum, and hopefully I can help you guys with